Welcome to At the Coolidge, a show about movies that are coming to the Coolidge Corner Theater. And in this case, we're going to be talking about Tarsem's new film, The Fall. This is, his first name is Singh Tarsem, who goes by the name Tarsem. This is a film produced by Spike Jonze and David Fincher. And it's an amazing film. And to talk about that, I have Sheldon Mirowitz, who is a film composer himself. Yes, Sheldon?
Yes, it's true.
What's the last film you did?
The last film I did was, well, Operation Filmmaker I did, which you saw
By Nina
here.
Davenport.
By Nina Davenport, and that was television, but other than that.
So, getting to The Fall. This was re-released now. It was released first, I think, in a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 2006.
Yeah,
I saw that it had a
right,
release date
right.
2000. I don't know why it didn't get released anyplace
Well,
else.
just to start out, if people have read the review in the Times, they dismissed this film, which to me is shocking.
They dismissed it. Why did they dismiss it?
They think it's too much of a music video. But let's just say what this is about. It's about a stuntman who has had an accident and he's in the hospital. It's in Los Angeles at the turn of the century. He's befriended by a little girl who's also had an accident with her arm falling off a horse. And the entire time her arm is out in a cast like this.
She didn't fall off a horse. She fell off. She was picking oranges.
Picking oranges, right.
So.
Okay. And she's Romanian or something along those
Bulgarian
lines.
or
And he begins to tell her stories. They're friends, and they draw the sheet around the bed, and he tells her these stories. But what he's really trying to do is he's trying to get morphine
to kill himself.
Because his girlfriend has left him, and he's miserable.
That's right.
But the stories are played out in this spectacular fashion.
Awesome.
And the visuals are
Well, we're seeing her imagination of it.
and that, I think, is the key to the film. It's not, and I think the Times is completely missing this, as are other reviewers who focus on the storytelling and the spectacle of these stories. It's about seeing, and it's about imagination.
And about movies. It's
And
about
about
movies. It's about movies. Part of it that's so cool is that it's about movies. First of all, it's set in L.A., in the beginning of movies. The second thing is that it's about the stuntman. By the way, we don't know he's a stuntman until the very end. We think he could be the star, which is part of what's so cool about how the movie works. And there's a whole lot about illusion and about storytelling and it's about the redemptive power of storytelling.
Absolutely.
And that's what movies are about, and that's why it's so wonderful, and that's why the spectacle is so worth it, because it's about movie making, kind of. It's about, well, what can we do to make this movie? And it's spectacular movie making too. I mean, I think.
And it's also made in 20 locations around
who knows?
the world.
I can't. I looked at the credits at the end. I couldn't. Every time another one came by, I started laughing. I'm laughing. I'm saying, how could he shoot in Bali and Prague? And he's shot in Romania. There's a UK crew. There's a crew everywhere, and I don't even know how they put that kind of stuff together. I guess also it was released in Russia. It's technically a Russian film, I think. At least IMDb says it's a Russian film.
Is Tarsem Russian?
No, he's Indian.
Indian, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So
So it's got a slight Bollywood edge to it too.
also, it does, because it's very choreographed, and but as was all his stuff. I mean, he's a commercial director, that stuff is that.
I think he did an REM music video as well.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
And I think that I hope that the Globe doesn't go the cliched route of saying it looks like a music video, because I will be so disappointed. This is why we don't need critics in the newspapers.
It doesn't look like a music video.
If people don't go see this film because they get a certain impression of it, they're missing a wonderful experience.
Oh, it'd be terrible. Oh, no. I think, first of all, it's a very broadly understandable film, so that it could answer. I mean, you suggested that my daughter watch it. I thought, what do you mean, what? I've seen Tarsem's other stuff. I was like, well, what could she find in this? But in fact, she would have been great to watch it with. I mean, it would have been a great thing. So it's a very broad audience. The other thing that's really interesting about, well, first of all, it does look like a music video because it's shot so gorgeously, and it looks like a commercial. That is, it has the look of something that costs, $1 million a minute.
But it doesn't have that snappy editing of a music video.
No, it doesn't. It's very dreamy.
Yeah, it is, and you get to take in these beautiful panoramas and wonderful choreography of characters.
Forgive me, wise Misty, for my disrespect. Undoubtedly, you have a flair for warmongering. It will be my honor if you consider joining us on our quest.
We must save your brother.
But first, a little test.
Well, the beginning of the movie, I mean, the sheer look of the movie is so stunning. The look and the feel, and I'm a composer, the sound of the movie is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous sounding movie. It's done with such care. And the information is ladled out in such an intelligent way, so that there's none of this, the script isn't telling you who all these people are. The environment is telling you, and it's kept so that you can discover stuff in it. It's beautiful.
As is she, because she'll look through the window of the hospital, and she'll see a corpse being removed, and that becomes part of what is now in her imagination. There's even an amazing shot. You're talking about movie making and seeing in the imagination and storytelling, where there's a horse.
Oh,
because
through the door.
Through the door.
That's an
the
unbelievable.
keyhole.
I watched. I took it back. I watched it 3 times.
And the image turns upside down like a camera obscura.
Exactly what
and
it is.
And a camera obscura were the first moving images on walls.
Also, a camera obscura is the way. I mean, that's the idea of shadows, and it's really the idea of the cave in Plato. I mean, it goes so far back. It's such an enormous story, and the notion that this is a kind of about those things, which is what it is. So you see the upside down horse, and then it flashes, and the door opens, and she sees the horse, and then her imagination goes to what happened with her and the horse, and it's just. It was stunning, and it all happens in the first 2 minutes of the movie. That's kind of where that happens. The beginning of the movie is so beautiful.
We're talking about the credits.
Well, the credit roll, because that's where you see which you don't know what you're seeing, but you're seeing the aftermath of the accident where the stuntman gets hurt. And
in slow motion, in black and white, to Beethoven.
To Beethoven's Seventh, one of the most beautiful pieces of music
I
anywhere.
went and bought the music because it's
one of the great
it takes
pieces
your breath
ever.
away.